Hey guys, welcome back to Grid Life, Gingerman Raceway, Automotive Music Festival. This place is awesome. I've been having a great time. Everyone's been giving me their cars, and I have a great opportunity right now because this is the 2015 Hennessey HPE750 Mustang GT. Hennessey couldn't get me one, so a guy gave me his. Now here's what's interesting. This car is bone stock except for the Hennessey supercharger. It has an automatic gearbox. It has standard tires, standard brakes, and standard suspension. The guy's working on it. He's doing that stuff himself, so you can't crap on the owner too hard. But 750 horsepower in an otherwise stock Mustang. As we noted in our EcoBoost review, the gearbox, wow, oversteer. The gearbox is not very good. I definitely don't recommend this automatic gearbox unless you only have one leg. But oh my God, the power! It wants to send this back out so far sideways, and I may have that opportunity. I have the traction control in sport right now because otherwise this thing it's not going to get the power down. So far, I haven't been anywhere near full throttle. Granted, I'm just warming up. Well, for stock, the brakes are surprisingly tight. Come on, turn down. All right, here's full power, 3,000 RPM to the floor. There's 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 125, 130. Okay, this is a very, very, very fast car. Oh no. In a straight line, if you can get it slowed down enough to make it into the braking zone, which I almost didn't do right there, that is a very tricky haul down area. The whine of the supercharger is very intoxicating, and and it wants oversteer and more oversteer. It wants all the oversteer. Oh wow, and it's fast. This suspension from the factory is so well damped and sorted for street use that you basically don't even realize how fast you're going unless you look at the speedometer, and you are going very, very fast every time. I bet I get oversteer here too. God, I want it to go down a gear and it just won't. Ah. So fast, but then it's kind of sloppy in the corners because it's just set up for standard suspension. I've got a Vet, even if it's just a C5, it's probably, I've seen it on the track this weekend, very well sorted. I'm going to give him a point by just because I can't keep this car in line and I don't want to drive with him in my mirrors. I bet I have a hard time, even with probably double the horsepower that car makes. I'm going to have one hell of a time keeping up with him. God, does this thing not want to downshift ever? Oh, this gearbox stinks. Listen to the whine. Well, Hennessey, God, the hood on this car. I would have thought by 2015 Ford would have figured out how to stop the vibrating hood problem, but they have not. Hopefully with the GT350 they will, but they certainly haven't here. Whoa, this engine is extremely powerful. This is a motor. I'm actually going to try and stay a gear higher everywhere just because I don't want to have to downshift. Jesus. I just hit 100 miles an hour in this car on this very short straightaway. I'm not even sure I hit 70 or 80 in the BMW earlier today. So much horsepower, such a street issue suspension, and I guarantee you I boil the brake fluid on these 4 laps. Although the brake pedal is staying firm. Turn! Yeah, it rotates under braking and then it rotates more under power. Caught some traffic here. A little burrs in the last 2000. As I said in my standard GT review, this car with even a set of like Coney Yellows or KWs and some good springs would be a beast on the track, but right now it's a drag car or a road car. This car does not have performance pack actually, and it has the 331 rear axle, or 330 whatever it is, but I think it's 331. Reach traffic, and I'm going to take a point by even if I'm not given one. Yeah, I can't. If I go full throttle, I'm gonna get around this Corvette just enough to be in a really bad place for this braking zone. God, this car doesn't downshift. This gearbox is awful. The difference between a good gearbox and a bad gearbox is one listens to you and one doesn't. And when it doesn't listen to you, that is a bad gearbox. But what an engine. Oh my God, my phone is ringing in my pocket. Go away. What, am I going to stop and check my phone on this track? No. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe on this little short straight, I'm hitting the brakes at 100, and I'm not even really coming out of these corners as hard as I could, because this is a brand new car, 2,000 miles on it, privately owned. Here's the problem, downshifting right here, it's not going to go. Oh, it went, but only sort of. Oh, drag on the chassis, why don't you? I don't know. I mean, I love Hennessey's engine tuning, and I like when he does full builds, but I'm not sure I can recommend this engine on an otherwise stock car. It's going to be a handful all the time, and I imagine it's probably okay on the street if you can keep your foot out of it. But I'm going to try and cool down these brakes for half a lap before I go in. But all right, I mean, pretty much as we expected, right? On the track, stock brakes, stock suspension, stock gearbox, not going to really keep up. Engine, very good. The temperature is actually leaning towards cold. You know, there's been no hiccups or anything from the engine aside from the gearbox not wanting to listen to me. So there you have it. Great engine, but you need supporting mods to back it up, absolutely. And you need supporting brakes, definitely, and I would stay away from this gearbox because it's just not good. But thank you for letting me drive your brand new Hennessey Mustang. GRIDLIFE, it's an awesome event, so much track time, a lot of great music at night, huge tent city camping scene. It's a good time. Come on down next year. I'll most certainly be back because this is one of the best automotive events I've seen in a long time. Let's go find another car.